Right, Amy, here we go with another bonus episode of M&G Agency Life.
Yes, Pete, are you ready?
I am indeed, Amy.
But are you exhibition ready?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Roll the intro.
Welcome to M&G Agency Life, your regular dose of creativity, insights, and all things Mearns & Gill.
Join us on this whirlwind journey through the world of marketing, design, and digital.
We'll also talk brand, events, media, and lots more.
Like what happens behind the scenes?
Yeah, and the latest industry trends, we've got you covered.
So get ready to dive into the world of agency.
Right, shall we do this?
Oh, heck yes.
Oh, how we've missed that music, right, Amy?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are then. It's a very special bonus episode of M&G Agency Life. We're back.
Yes, it's so good to be back. This episode is all about becoming exhibition ready.
Yeah, so we recently held an event which was all about being as prepared as you can be for an event. In fact, why don't we get the organiser of that event to tell us all about it? It's Sarah from our events team. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
It's great to have you back here in the M&G podcast room.
Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. So, why did we do this event? Talk us through it.
So, we ran this event in September. September is a year until a big energy show that happens in Aberdeen called Offshore Europe.
Yes.
That happens every 2 years. So this September, there's a year to go until the one next year. So that might seem a long time away, but it's never too early to start thinking about how you can become ready to exhibit at a show like this.
In terms of events and exhibitions, a year is actually not that long, is it, in terms of getting ready?
No, definitely not. So obviously exhibitions are a great opportunity to showcase your brand, connect with potential clients, stay ahead of the industry trends. But obviously with that comes a lot of decisions to be made, tricky decisions sometimes on your stand design, your messaging, how you get your message out there, social media strategies, etc., etc.
Yeah, there's a lot to consider.
So much.
So for this event, we gathered a team of industry experts who were able to share their insider knowledge, tips, and a few trade secrets on how you can be on your A game for your next exhibition appearance.
And we thought it would make sense to do a bonus podcast episode to kind of reenact this event.
Yeah.
So we have gathered our team. It sounds like we're the A-team. We've gathered everyone together. We're going to have a lot of people chatting on the podcast today. We're going to run over how various services we have can help you at your exhibition. So we're going to talk to one of our exhibition stand specialists. We're going to get someone from our design team, PR, media solutions, digital and events. So it's going to be a busy old podcast. So who shall we start with, Amy?
Start at the very beginning of the stand design. So we've got Fraser.
Fraser, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So if you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and first of all what your business is and what you do.
No worries. I am from Outline Event Services and we are an exhibition stand and design build company.
Okay.
So I'm here to help companies get the most out of the space that they've booked, whether it be a small 3x2 up to a large exhibition space. Mm-hmm. So the most important thing is making the most of what you've got in the exhibition hall.
Absolutely. You get one shot at it, so it's obviously very important to make the very best out of it. So what are the considerations then? What's your starting point then in terms of stand design and stand build and what you're going to have at the event?
So the main thing is to think about what it is you want to get out of it, whether you have products to display or messaging to get across. The best way of doing that on the exhibition floor. So whether it's displaying products in a way that allows people to come onto your stand and view them, pick them up, have a look around them, or by using graphic space with lighting to get across the messaging that you have for your company.
Okay.
It's also important to draw people in. So using technology like screens and touchscreens seems to be a very popular thing just now as well, if you have the content to put on it. So drawing people in that's ultimately why we are here. And the graphics is probably the best place to start with that. Having something striking that draws your eye into the stand to pull people in to have a conversation with them is definitely where to start. So whether if you're on a small shell scheme booth, making the most of that graphic space you've got, if you have a space only where you have free reign of what you have in your space, going as tall as you can, as wide as you can to get as much of your branding in the hall as possible.
Okay, make sure that you are well spotted in amongst the busy hustle and bustle.
Thousands of exhibitors.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's always a busy show offshore Europe, so getting people to stop and pass can be a challenge sometimes. So another piece of kit that seems to be gaining a lot of ground just now is video walls, which is, again, a great way of catching people's eyes, especially on the big wide aisles. You can see them from miles away, so it certainly pulls people in, and if you've got the products that they want to see, then they'll come your way.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the ways that we at Mearns & Gill will work with yourself, because we actually do video production. We're going to come to that later on, and obviously we'll work with you, and you'll take control of the whole install side, so that people get the most out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah.
Any other considerations then?
Offshore Europe being a 4-day show, somewhere to sit and a cup of coffee is always a great place to start.
That's important.
Yes, it is.
Rest your feet after a long day.
Absolutely. So if people like to come and get a cup of coffee, and if you've got some space for tables and chairs, then it's great to just be able to sit them down and have a conversation with them.
And I suppose these are made for your potential clients to come and sit on, but then you'll get people like Sarah and Amy who both work in events who probably swan up to a stand and think, I'll have myself a little break.
We're
Got any freebies?
Freebies. I presume we're going to get to merch later on as well. Okay, Fraser, what's next? What else should we be thinking about?
Everything from floor coverings to your graphics is everything you've got to think about. Floor coverings is another thing to consider.
Okay.
Again, with it being a 4-day show, you're going to have to stand on that for the whole 4 days. So you can always add a bit of comfort by putting some padding underneath the carpet. Or if you want to go for a cleaner look, a wood effect vinyl can work well as well. But it's all about trying to keep in with what your brand is and how you want your stand to look.
Yeah.
I think some people don't realise as well that you might have to get a floor for your stand. Like that sometimes doesn't come with the package that they get, and that's quite important.
Absolutely. When you're booking your stand space, you always have the option between a space only and a shell scheme booth. A shell scheme booth comes with your lights, electrics and walls, whereas a space only is exactly that. You get a concrete floor and you have to provide everything that goes into that space.
I guess sustainability is a big topic at the moment. How has that affected stand builds just now, and how do you see it kind of affecting it going forward?
Yeah, absolutely is. We can see it more and more coming into the shows that we're doing, and it is a consideration that we have to take, and quite rightly so. So we have produced a cardboard stand for one of our clients recently, which is a fully recyclable system that can also be reused. So
wow.
It also, with it being a cardboard system, it's lightweight, which makes logistics a lot easier, which again is something to consider when you are attending an exhibition, because that is probably a hidden cost that people forget about.
Okay, this has been really useful, Fraser. So one final point from you. How far in advance should someone come and talk to you if they have an exhibition? What's the timeline?
Ideally, if you know what space size you have, a good starting point is probably about 6 months out. Comfortably 3 months to get the design sorted out, and then there would be plenty of time before the show to make any little changes that would be needed.
Brilliant. Fraser, thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Right. So we've covered stand build. We're going to bring in Graham from our design team next. Let's get into the design aspects of your stand.
Graham, welcome back to the podcast room.
Good to be here. It's been a while.
It has been a while. You might remember Graham from our design and brand episode. How have you been?
I've not been too bad, just working away, busy in the studio, and I've been told not to mention the C word.
That's right. Graham got in trouble for mentioning, no, not that one, the other one, Comic Sans.
Yeah,
it's
controversial.
A bit of a controversial.
It's caused many an argument upstairs. So we've spoke to Fraser about the build and construction of a stand. So from a design and brand point of view, Graham, what would you like to share?
Well, to kick things off, I would say you've got to keep your brand consistent across all of the elements. So you've probably got brand guidelines for your company. So that would be your colour, your fonts. Make sure they're consistent with the rest of your brand.
Yep.
You want this to feel like an extension of your brand and not like a completely different thing.
Right.
And a good way of doing this is going back to your brand core messages, as this could be really good to sort of be a guide for how your brand should look and feel. You should always consider the placement of your text. Where's the key messaging going to go? Because it should be in the high visibility areas. So it should be eye level, not hidden behind screens or where you're going to be standing.
So not below the knee.
Not below the knee.
Right, okay. So nothing down too low, keep it up high.
Yeah, because you don't want people walking right past your stand and not seeing what you're all about.
Sure.
And
Okay.
it's also very important to keep your messaging clear and concise because, there's going to be potentially hundreds of other stands in an exhibition.
Yeah.
So you don't want people walking past and then you've just got screeds and screeds of text. So, and no one's really going to read that. You need to
So
be
keep
able-
that quite light and concise and to the point, okay?
Yeah, definitely, because you're going to try and get their attention within like a couple of seconds because people aren't going to stand around reading like 100 words. Should introduce some interactive elements because this can really enhance your engagement with the people coming to the exhibition.
Yeah.
But I would say, don't do just completely random things. Try and tie it back to your brand and messaging, these interactive elements, because you want it to almost enhance the brand message as opposed to just a random thing to attract attention, which is good sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's cements in people's brains what your company's all about. So you want to keep these interactive elements so they tie into your brand. So if you're like an optician or something, maybe have an eye test people can do, stuff like that. Something
Right.
I feel that.
I mean, because you have random stands that just have a little golf simulator or something like that.
Yeah.
Gets
Stuff
people
like
to
that.
the stand,
Yeah.
but it might not be for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Also, you should consider your staff's appearance, the people who are going to be manning the brand.
Very true.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they are an extension of your brand, so you don't want them to detract from your brand messaging. So I would suggest, maybe get branded t-shirts, jumpers made up,
Yeah, looks good.
or keep the colours they're wearing consistent, because when people come into your stand, you're going to want people to be able to instantly know who they want to speak to if they want to learn
Yeah,
more.
you don't have to guess.
Yeah.
Does that person work here? Does that you want it to be completely obvious so you can just maximise that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Because, you don't want people walking away after wandering about for a minute being like, I don't know who to speak to.
Yeah.
And then you've missed that sort of
I'm going to
chance.
go and play that golf simulator. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely. You should choose some collateral and merchandise that reinforce your brand. So, sort of back to that, the interactive elements, you should have stuff that sort of ties in with your actual brand. So if you're a tech company, maybe just idea off the top of my head, it's maybe a good idea to hand out like USB sticks, little phone chargers.
Always useful. Yes.
Always useful.
Phone
Yeah.
chargers. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because-
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if it's people are using that day in, day out,
Yeah.
that it sort of enforces who you are as a brand. And then,
Yeah. Your logo's right there.
and it cements in their head who you are as a company.
Yeah.
Which is quite handy. And it's at the end of the day, that's what your collateral and merchandise is supposed to do. And just make sure all your items are well designed. So you want a nice, high quality brochure if you're trying to sell products, because people don't want to pick up a brochure and I don't like the look of this. You want that to be consistent with your brand as well.
And that's where we can help. So I say we, but you, Graham, and the design team, the collateral that you need, your kind of handouts, all your BD materials that are really important, making sure that you have all that ready. It's on the stand, it's looking great. You can help design those.
And in terms of the kind of messaging and things on your stand, would you recommend people use more graphic based or text based or like a mixture of both, or what do you think?
I would definitely say it should probably be a mix of both, because I feel like you need text, but you don't want to go over the top with text when it's just, as I said before, just a ton of text.
Words,
You want it to sort of be concise enough that they understand what you're about and maybe intrigue them so they want more, and then they can speak to someone who's manning the stand, or perhaps pick up one of your brochures to find out more about your company.
Okay. And anything else, Graham? Any other top tips that we need to know about from the design and brand point of view?
So I would say, integrate social media into your design somehow. You can use branded hashtags, photo booths, interactive installations. And this should be mainly to encourage people to sort of share that they've been to your exhibition stand, and this amplifies your brand reach beyond your network, and it starts using theirs. So you're casting the net much further afield.
Great. Okay. Super useful, Graham. Thank you so much. as ever, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
We'll let you get back to all your design work. I know you're dying to get back to your desk, aren't you?
Can't wait. Yeah, I'm going to love it.
Thank you, Graham. Right. Okay, so we've done the build. We've spoke about design and brand. Now we're going to get into PR. So let's welcome Sarah B back into the podcast room.
Sarah, welcome back. How are you?
Hi, Amy. Hi, Pete. I'm good, thank you.
It's nice to see you back in this room, Sarah.
Always good. My favourite room in the building.
No.
Now, just want to check, you've not taken any goats with you today?
Not today.
This goes back to the PR episode when Sarah told us a story about her, an influencer, and a goat. But we won't go into that today.
Maybe we can take
Listen
them to
back,
exhibition.
Take a goat to an exhibition, yeah. Maybe not. Right, Sarah, so you're here to talk about the PR side, the strategy side of an exhibition. So, well, where do you want to start?
So I think the best place to start is the very beginning, obviously.
Like that.
So to me, once you've done the hard work, you think the hard work is possibly the design stage, building the stand, being part of that fit out, everything's looking great. Wonderful. Your stand's built, you're there. Do people know you're there? So start early with pre-event buzz.
Okay.
Tell people about it, please.
Right.
Sounds simple, but yeah.
A bit of pre-event activity to let everyone know what's happening, what's going on.
Absolutely. And there are loads of ways you can do that. So obviously you can leverage your social media channels. You can use hashtags for the event. So yeah, just making sure you do that early so that people know you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows OE 2025 is in the calendar, but yeah, absolutely. You can start as early as January if you want it.
And it's a good point because if you do anything else, whether it's a product launch or, or if it's, it's a company having a sale, you tell people about it.
Yeah.
So why should it be any different? Why would you go to an event without letting as many people know as possible?
Exactly. And you can do that on multiple platforms. So as I said, social media, absolutely. Press releases and media partnerships. So please talk to the media early because again, you're one of many people who are going to be at that event and show. So make sure you have those conversations and build those relationships really early in the year. That's my number one piece of advice.
Brilliant. Okay. What's next? What's your other top tip, Sarah?
So again, collaboration is key for me. So strength in numbers, collaborate with any industry influencers. Do you know anyone that's going to be attending the event? Strength in numbers, it also expands your network. Is there anyone else going to be there that is similar to your business? Do you partner with anyone on the day-to-day that might be involved in the event? Have exhibition space? Yeah, absolutely. Strength in numbers with that partnership piece for me.
Right. Have you seen any quirky influencer type activity at events, exhibitions that you've been at?
I have. I think one they no longer do anymore, but that was a long time ago.
I think I know what you're talking about. This was back in the day when things were a little bit more
free.
Did it involve body art?
It did. It certainly involved body art. So I don't believe that is allowed there anymore.
Luckily.
But again, I guess on stand, just being as smart and fun as you want to. You want people to engage, stay on the stand, dwell time. Is it a bit of something that's interactive, a game or VR or, there's loads of stuff you can do to get people, bring them to the stand and keep them there.
I love this because it's all about being creative and standing out from the crowd, isn't it?
Correct.
We're good at.
Yeah.
You've talked about collaborations with influencers, but what about local media?
Good question, Amy. So absolutely. Obviously, Offshore Europe is a global event, but you're on the ground in Aberdeen. So you really want to make local media your ally. So again, talked about that briefly before, collaborating with news outlets to gain coverage. So that can be in industry-specific publications. We all know and love Energy Voice, our local go-to energy-specific publication. But yeah, again, just forming partnerships with other organisations to boost visibility. You might want to think about a co-hosted event. That's something you maybe want to do before, during, or even after. People's calendars tend to be pretty full the week of OE. Loads of social events. So yeah, make sure you kind of tap into that social network. And also another thing to think about is utilising the press room during the event.
Yeah.
There are definitely some barriers around that, depending on who the organiser are. But the press room is where journalists attending the event will be drafting up their news stories. They might be doing lives from there. So yeah, make sure you know where the press room is. Is there the ability to leave marketing materials there? I'm not saying hang about outside the press room.
Right,
That'd be a bit weird, but,
Yeah.
Find it and make sure you're utilising it as best as you can.
What else have you got on your list of PR tricks?
Well, I guess when you come to the end, Pete, so
Yeah.
it's really maximising post-event coverage as well. So, you've had a great time at the event. What has that meant to you? Has that resulted in new business? So again, PR stories will come as a result of the event and the show. So you might want to summarise that. Again, that can be through press or through social, key highlights, successes, but make it newsworthy. And continue the conversation on social. So you might want to share photo albums, tag people you've met during the week.
Yeah.
Again, that expands your network. You might have quotes from the event. You might have testimonials from a global client that you'd never met until today who you managed to meet at the show because they were here for that purpose. And I think just finally, expressing gratitude to everyone who's kind of helped you, do your thing during the show. So is that partners? Is it clients, visitors for engaging with your stand? So just make sure you kind of do that sign-off piece and maximise post-event.
It's about that second bite of the cherry, isn't it?
Correct.
So, for example, we did our exhibition-ready event, and here we are doing a podcast about it. So
Exactly.
it's just kind of,
That's it.
being able to get your message out to a whole different bunch of people.
Yeah, that's it.
Following up on leads is important as well, isn't it?
It certainly is. And as the title of our recent event was, before, during and after, be absolutely mindful of those 3 stages and make sure you are promoting and publicising all of that.
Great. Okay, Sarah, it's been great to have you back here with us. What are you waiting to do now? Go and drink champagne with your clients? That PR girl lifestyle that you live?
know.
I would love to say it's slightly less glamorous, but also tasty. I've just had a box of donuts delivered from a client.
Of course you
I'm
have.
going to
Missed out
indulge in
on
those.
that.
Thank you
What
to
we're
Roy
doing down
Milne
here.
of Asset One. And mic drop,
Amazing.
name drop.
We will let you go and get to those donuts, and hopefully, Amy, there'll be some left for us later.
Don't eat them all.
Sarah, thanks again.
you
Right,
so much,
we've
guys.
had Sarah. Next, we're going to talk about media solutions.
So, media solutions, that means it's our special guest. Oh, it's Pete.
Oh, yeah. It's just me.
Hello, Pete.
It's just me and you alone in the podcast room
Exactly.
again.
Yeah.
So, media solutions. Look, at exhibitions, it is crucial to deliver that right message and stand out because, as we know, it's a competitive environment.
Yep.
Media solutions services that we offer down here at Mearns & Gill can really give you the edge. So, this will help you communicate with confidence, amongst other things.
Yep.
3 services I want to talk about today: media training, presentation training, and video production. These are all relative to how you can up your game at an event. So media training, typically we do these courses. They're a day course. We'll do some classroom-based stuff in the morning. In the afternoon, we do some interactive sessions, which are always a lot of fun. All bespoke to what a client might need. So first of all, with media training, I guess the big one that we always hear from our clients, and the thing they have most anxiety about, is handling those tricky questions.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You're speaking at an exhibition, you're maybe up on in front of a panel, you're doing a Q&A session. In the back of your mind, you're just worried about what if you get a question and you don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So we can prepare you to handle these questions. That's the good news, and handle them with ease. So we'll teach you how to stay calm under pressure, how to buy yourself a bit of extra time when needed, how to tactfully redirect the conversation just to get to the key points that you want to emphasize. So basically, this is useful for anyone who's taking part in these discussions, but more importantly, someone who wants to control the narrative.
Yeah. So you're saying all the politicians on TV, they're not just off the cuff. They've actually been trained.
So media trained.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So media trained. Another one is preempting these questions. So you might get a tricky question, but then part of that is, well, thinking about what these questions might be.
Yeah.
Because if you know it's going to come up, be prepared, so we can help you work with you to identify potential tricky areas or concerns that you might have, and then handle them with confidence. Sticking to your messaging, kind of touched on that. It is key, especially if you are maybe feeling the pressure. It's so easy to get derailed by a difficult question or a distracting comment.
Yeah.
If there's a protest going on in the background,
Yeah.
well, that's something else altogether. But we can ensure that you can always bring the conversation back round to your core messages. And again, it's key for anyone who's promoting a business and just wants to stay in control of your story. So an example could be something regarding environmental impact.
Yeah.
but you have to handle it. So how do you do it? So you could acknowledge the question by saying something like, that's a very valid point and something we take really seriously. A change we've recently made is X, Y, Z. So what you're doing there is you're acknowledging the question, you're quickly addressing it, and then you just pivot back to your core message, get back on track.
That's good.
So that's media training. Presentation training is more about how to craft good presentations and present them with confidence. So that piece about actually pulling your presentation together. Time's often limited. You don't have long. You need to get your point across quickly. So as part of the training, we will work with you on your presentations to make sure they're clear, concise, they're impactful, and that they flow in a way that your audience is going to kind of, be engaged and you're going to hold their attention from start to finish. As for presenting, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So we can help you come across confident, polished and engaging, whether it's a live audience or maybe you're doing a piece to camera because you're being interviewed at your exhibition stand. We can teach you how to maintain eye contact, control your body language and use your voice effectively to ensure that your message comes across in the right way.
Yeah, and there's so many opportunities, especially offshore Europe, for people coming down with cameras or they partner with different media partners and things, and even just your own social media. And there's always the social media person coming down and saying, say a quick piece of camera about why you're here, and then you don't want to freeze and look rubbish.
And you don't want to miss the opportunity, but that actually brings me on nicely to presenting to camera. So some events and exhibitions these days might include interactive components. So it might be that it's interactive, it might be that it's a digital piece. So it's important to be comfortable presenting to camera. And again, we can help you adapt your style for the lens, ensuring that you come across professional and relatable. So whether you're recording, an explainer video or you're giving a product demo or sharing insights, we can help with all of that.
Yeah.
Finally,
sorted.
Video production. As Fraser said at the very start, he can create video walls on screen. What a great thing to bring to an event. So you can have your company's story up there on video. So we can help with any kind of video work. So explainer videos, product videos. It's an effective way to engage your audience and just showcase your brand. So we can help create any of these videos that serve as a powerful visual tool on any exhibition stand. So that whether it's introducing your company or highlighting kind of leadership team or key products or services, we've worked with businesses doing a lot of this kind of work. And then the whole piece about integrating it onto your stand. Again, for me, you're in this huge area where the stand's everywhere. Something's going to catch your eye. So video's a great way of doing that. And then I guess finally, my final point is that video is a lasting asset. So it's not just for that event. You can use it after the exhibition as well. It can become a valuable tool to use in presentations, your website, your social channels, and just a part of your ongoing marketing efforts.
Yeah.
So there we have it. That was media solutions and the ways we can support you at an event. So we move on to the next guest.
Yes, we have a guest this time. Yay.
And we're going to zoom him in. Of course we are, because it's Mr. Digital himself, Kevin Mitchell.
Okay, we're patching him in now. Kevin, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys loud and clear.
Oh, there he goes. Right, just to describe Kevin. First of all, Kevin is our new digital lead. You were on our last bonus episode, and we can see that you're wearing the glasses, Kevin.
Yes.
A day doesn't go by, guys. You'll be pleased to know it doesn't go by without them being on.
These were the glasses that Amy caught Kevin filming us when they started flashing.
Not in a weird way.
Not in a weird way, just in a way a digital guy would. So, of course, you're dialing in remotely. Kevin, where are you?
I'm down in Edinburgh. Yeah, we're down in Edinburgh seeing some clients, thanks to, expansion we've got going on. So, yeah, down here today. And thankfully, I don't have to miss recording with you lovely guys.
Well, exactly. And if anyone was going to join us remotely, it was going to be our digital guy. So, Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin, you're a busy guy. You're out and about. You're in Edinburgh. We'll keep this quite tight. So we're recapping on some of the great stuff we spoke about at our Are You Exhibition Ready event. You had some great insights from a digital standpoint. Do you want to walk us through some of those?
So for me, we all prepare for these events, and we're always thinking about getting for the event. What are we going to do at the event? And then how are we going to engage at the event? But for me, there's the important third aspect, and that's what are you going to do after the event?
Okay.
So it was really all about before, during, and after, and how digital can really be part of your efforts to make sure that you get maximum reach. maximum engagement, and importantly, maximum results before, during, and after your event.
Absolutely. That makes sense. I mean, why would you spend all the money going to an exhibition to promote your business if you're not going to capitalize on it?
Exactly. I think it pains me when you see people who have invested huge amounts of money in stands, material, and collateral, and excellent giveaways, and the only real point of capture that they have may be business cards. And I just think digital offers you so many ways to consciously or not to say covertly, but through retargeting, remarketing, to reach people again after an event, put your brand back in front of their eyes, remind them of the conversations you're having strategically. I just think there's just opportunities missed left, right, and centre, and I really wanted to get that across to people, but we don't have to miss them nowadays.
Yeah, great point. So that's post-event. What about when you're actually there, when you're actually in the room at a hugely busy exhibition? What would you say to people? How could they maximise what they're doing during the actual exhibition itself?
There's a lot of effort that people kind of put in before the event that they should be doing at the event too. They think that they're preparing social media comms to communicate people about what stand they're at, why they should turn up to the stand, conversations that they could have at brand level. Then there are individuals who are, reaching out, DMing, engaging with their network to remind them that, we're on stand, so let's come and have a chat, trying to maximise the attendance that they could be having at the event. But all of this can happen during the event too, because people are second screening when they're at the event. We've all been there. We've all been walking through. We all take our phones out of our pockets. We take them out of our pockets to maybe checking on emails. We certainly will then pop on social media and have a look at what's going on in social media. And when that happens, there are opportunities for you live at the event to get in front of people's eyes and start talking to them again. You can do that through your organic, making sure that you've got social content either live at the event that you can show people why it's exciting, or equally you can set up ads and you can target people who are in that geolocation of the event. You can target them so that when they open up Messenger or they open up Instagram or they open up LinkedIn, whatever platform they're on, you can put your brand in front of their eyes too whilst they're on there.
That is so
Again,
clever.
speak to them about you being there and they being there, and kind of join those conversations.
Yeah, and I guess you've spoken about social media, but what other kind of digital channels could we be utilising before, during or after an event?
Again, there's the email marketing piece. We'll all prep our email marketing and send our newsletters out and speak to people before the event. But again, don't think about missing those opportunities at the event. Schedule your newsletter to go out at key times, so that when people open up their email, because they are going to check their email when they're at the event, get a really clever subject line in your email. Make sure that it is quick and it talks about the event. Because if people are there scrolling through their email and catching up, you've got another opportunity inside their mailbox to say, we're at the event, here's what it is, and try and get them to open up that email and again engage with you. It's across all your digital activities, really. Yeah. Think about before, engage during, and then remarket after.
And I guess that's what we call, Kevin, a digital strategy, right?
That's why we call it a strategy. Exactly.
Okay, I really found that interesting what you said about people second screening, because when you're at an event, yes, you're looking around, but everyone has their phones out as well. They're checking their emails, they're maybe checking LinkedIn, and if you can get in front of these people, that's just an extra way of grabbing them, isn't it?
100%. People will go to an event knowing who they want to speak to, and then at a certain point, they're also looking for who they can speak to. So they do that through a few various ways. What stand is shiny? What stand has something interesting on it? So if you can reach these people either through targeted comms or through organic comms and have another point of saying, look, we're in stand 2B, we're in hall 8, stand 2. They might be in hall F. They just walk around two places and they could be at your stand. There's all these opportunities to second screen, grab attention and turn that into real world conversations and alive.
Brilliant, Kevin. Look, listen, thank you so much for sharing these amazing digital insights. Really, really cool stuff.
Man, anytime. Actually, here, one more thing, Pete.
Yep.
Look, that's all from me here in Edinburgh. Now it's back to you guys in the studio. Sorry. I couldn't miss that opportunity. I couldn't miss it.
I love it. You go catch your train, Kevin.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon.
See ya. Okay, I love that Kev came in digitally. Brilliant. Right, so we've covered what we covered. We covered a lot. We've the build of your stand, the design and brand. We had Sarah talking about PR and strategy, media solutions, digital, and now we're saving the best to last, aren't we?
We have
No pressure.
Hello.
Hiya.
Welcome.
Thank
So
you
Suzanne,
for having me.
our account director, Amy's boss.
Yeah, best behaviour.
Welcome
As
back.
always. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, indeed. So your part of the event was more speaking about how people can utilise the fact and make the most of the fact that they are at the event. So yeah, what hints and tips do you have for people?
So yeah, I've got a few hints and tips for you all today. The first thing, most important thing, you need to maximise visitor engagement to your stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So be welcoming and smile and don't be on your phones all the time.
You know what, you say that and it's like a lot of people think that's
So
obvious,
hard.
but you quite often you pass a stand, and especially if it's maybe 2 or 3 days into an exhibition, someone will just be lazily on their... But for someone who's passing that stand for the first time, it's really important.
Yeah, because they won't want to engage with you. That's the thing. If they see you on your phone, you're not approachable. And that brings me on to, again, making sure your team are presentable. You know, they look the part. You might want to consider uniforms or just all looking really smart. Not jeans, not, you know, looking the part. And I think... following on from that, I've been to exhibitions where I do see people eating and drinking on their stand.
Right.
So again, that's another thing that puts you off. You don't really want to go and interrupt them or, you know, and it's all very well, take a break, but don't do it at your stand.
And it's fair enough if they're serving coffee on the stand and other people are doing that. But yeah, if it's just someone munching into some chips, you're not going to like, actually.
Seen it all. And that's the thing, everyone likes a coffee and that's all good, you know. And that's, I guess, that's something that you can provide for your, you know, to encourage engagement.
Yeah.
Bring a barista along. Think about some nice treats, some nice things that you won't get in the catering area.
Yeah.
You know, people love a treat. They love an ice cream, something a bit different, a margarita maybe. That would be nice in the summer.
I'm coming to your stand, Suze.
So again, just following on from the team element, the training them is really important. You need to make sure that they are knowledgeable about the products and the services and what you're selling. Because, you know, if you've got a prospective client that asks something and they don't know, that's it. You know, your chance might be gone, you know, so make sure that you have people that are trained on your stand.
Yeah, don't miss that opportunity.
Absolutely. Interesting merch. We always like a bit of merch, don't we?
Freebies.
Nice goodie bag, you know. So something that people might not get is always a good thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's all about that engagement and interactivity. I've seen things that really work well. Can be interactive displays and touch screens and VR sets, things like that. You know, you see these people with they can be going down a roller coaster or, you know, or they can be doing something related to your technology. And again, these things are really popular now. I have even seen something where, you know, you're at an exhibition, you're touching something on the screen and then, you know, you might have a model alongside a physical model and it lights up, you know. It's really cool and it's just a way of creating that attention. Live demos as well. Good, really good.
Great
having
idea.
a live demo. Yeah. Cooking demos, maybe not, don't know.
Or someone showcasing a new product or a new tool, something like that as well.
Yes, definitely. So when you have all of these people coming to your stand, which is the aim, you cannot forget about data capture. That is so important.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, they'll exhibit, they'll go back to their desk the next day, you know, put their feet up maybe, I don't know, and they'll forget to follow up. And that is really important. It's really important to follow up on useful leads. You know, if you're doing a prize draw, you've got all of this data, you know, that you can transfer into your CRM, obviously being compliant with GDPR, of course. You know, you've got QR codes that you can use for quick data capture now as well, whether it's through a scan badge app or on your tablet or phone. But really make sure you follow up with people that you've met, you know, ask them for a coffee, you know, follow up, try and get a meeting with them.
Yeah.
That's good.
Presumably that's the whole reason you're going to go to an exhibition. You're going to go there to make new contacts and to win business, essentially. So,
big sales
absolutely.
Tool, definitely. And following on from that as well, I was just going to say that, you know, to make an impression, you've got your exhibition, but what else is happening? What else can you get involved with? You know, there's the networking beyond your stand as well. Are you at a conference? What can they offer? How else can you raise your profile? You know, it might be through submitting an abstract for a presentation.
Okay.
You know, you can get on the stage. So, you know, you've got, you know, on the stage, you've got your exhibition stand. Can you offer a demo? All of these things are going to help raise your profile and make the most of your spend at an exhibition.
So what about things that are happening out with the exhibition? I know at Offshore Europe there's always social events and networking opportunities out with that. So how are they important?
Yeah, so all of these things, you know, the more you can do, the more it can maximise your spend at an exhibition. So at conferences, you might have an opportunity to submit an abstract to present to an audience. You might have an opportunity to do a demo. You could sponsor something. So again, all of these things will help, you know, in combination, raise your profile. But the off-site things as well, you know, you could be organising an event, whether it's at your premises. You can invite, you know, prospective clients, existing clients to come along, and it's a great opportunity again just to utilise the time, you know, that people are spending. You know, for example, if it's Offshore Europe, you know, they spend a good time at the exhibition, but they maybe want a break. So give them something else to do. But the important thing for that is to plan it early, because there's a lot of things that happen off site as well. So make sure it's something that people want to come along to as well, whether it's an evening event, or it's maybe offering parking at the facility and busing people to the exhibition so that they can take that stress away as well. So there's a few things you can do to stand out. Yeah,
that's all really useful, and obviously we can help set up some of these events. But I guess what you're saying, Suze, is talk to us soon.
Yes.
Don't leave it to the last minute, because with exhibitions that, like Offshore Europe, planning in advance, as you say, is so important.
Yeah, it is, because I think a lot of people will book a stand and that's it. They'll forget about it. And, you know, you think we're into, you know, where the months are really passing. They're flying by. Yeah. And soon, you know, sooner or later, we're going to be into January, you know, and we're not going to have long until Offshore Europe. So it's really important to really look at things like that now. And as Pete said and Amy said, we can certainly help take that stress away.
So there we have it, Suze. That was really helpful, really useful, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling exhibition ready.
I so am, absolutely.
We'll see you there.
Thank you very much. Well, there we have it. That is a wrap on this bonus episode of M&G Agency Life. Hopefully this will help everyone be that little bit more organised and bring their A game to that next exhibition.
Yep, and don't forget the team here at M&G are always here to help and support.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, if you'd like to know more about anything we've discussed, you can drop us a line.
Yep, you can find us on Instagram at Mearns Gill. You can also find Mearns and Gill on Facebook, LinkedIn or online.
Absolutely. You can also text us directly with any questions from your podcast platform. And if you hit subscribe, you'll be notified when the next bonus episode or Series 2 drops. One of the two.
Yep.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Catch you next time.
Ciao.